Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach. I'm Sarah, the expert.
And I'm Caleigh, the beginner.
Join us as we discuss fitness culture
from our two very different perspectives.
So grab yourself a protein shake
or a glass of wine
and let's get started. So Caleigh, have you ever done a polar plunge?
Nope.
Not at all, ever.
No.
Have you ever wanted to?
No.
Did you do that like ice bath challenge, that went viral a couple of years ago where it was like everyone was...
No, I was actually...
Like it was a fundraiser or something, wasn't that one?
We were both having our first babies.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I remember. I very specifically remember the ice bucket challenge.
Oh yeah, the ice bucket challenge.
Busy birthing a life. You were too, but I don't know. Did you do it?
Well, I mean, I don't remember that it was that long ago. That seems like it should have not been.
Because I remember watching it like at the hospital. I was like, these people are crazy.
Yeah, it is not my thing. Okay, so ice bucket on top of your head is definitely one thing. Polar plunge is like a next level thing. Which
that's like where you like jump into a lake.
Right. You just see the people like strip down and they take off into a lake that's got ice on the top, I feel like a lot of times.
But people are doing these ice baths for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so they're not fundraisers. They're not just like this, challenge thing.
Wellness thing.
It's caught on as some sort of health benefits. And I feel like you get people claiming that they're providing health benefits in different ways. Are you interested?
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
I think coming from the sense of like clearing your mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Do you think that would clear your mind?
I mean, what if that doesn't clear your mind?
I would be thinking probably about when am I trying to get out? What's my turn? I mean,
that's what they say is that it like, boosts your mood, clears your mind. And like my husband, because he's looked into it a little bit too, and he doesn't do it. He's probably more interested in it than I am. But he had watched something recently where they were like, you can't come out of an ice bath and be in a bad mood. You just can't.
Sounds like a horrible mood.
Beg to differ.
I think I could probably come out of that pretty cranky.
I see, because I have curly hair. So I do where I rinse my hair under the water.
Cold
generally,
rinse.
you're supposed to do cold rinse. And so from time to time, I'll do the thing I'm supposed to do and turn the water cold.
It's brutal.
It's miserable.
I mean, I think I'm traumatized from high school post basketball games, the really cold water that would come out of like the locker room stand, where you would just hit the head. It was like really hard water just shooting at your body. It was freezing cold. That's not my thing. Cold showers are a thing too. I mean, there are some people that wake up every morning.
I think that's where you start. I think if you're going to get into the ice baths, then you start with the cold showers.
You think so? You're not even handling the cold rinse very well.
No.
And I remember the days of the cold showers when it wasn't by choice and it was not pleasant.
No,
not pleasant at all.
I'm intrigued. I'm interested. Probably not enough to do it.
To buy like the cow tank and fill it up with water and the ice and go sit in it outside somewhere for a while. Like, I have a friend here. He's training for an ultra race, which I don't know if his is 50 or 100, but it's a long ways. I think it was 100. And he has started doing it every day and he swears by it for recovery, inflammation. He's doing these crazy long training runs and he's like, I haven't been sore yet. So I'm like, well, I mean, if that's your jam and you really want to do a race, then maybe there's something to it for that purpose. I think there's something to it. The inflammation? Is that what comes up probably? The
inflammation and swelling, relieves sore muscles. It says aids exercise recovery. Obviously lowers core body temperature.
Well, I wonder if we could find like a side-by-side camera, because then you always will see like the cryo chambers too, which that you're getting done, I think, in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I think this is like...
Which I'm guessing a cryo chamber is a lot colder, like significantly colder.
Yeah, I think this is a less extreme version of like cryotherapy.
But I mean, this still in... when I was 16, I fell and I tried to catch myself and I dislocated my elbow. And it always kind of bothered me. In college, it flared back up. I bumped it in like the soft spot and it hurt really bad. And so I was at the athletic trainer's office or in their room and they would make me do an ice bath with just my elbow in it for 15 minutes. That was bad enough because water is one thing. I don't know what that ice does to that water. It gets cold.
It hurts.
And it does hurt. And that was literally like just my elbow.
Yeah.
And so I think about
your whole
that
body.
Traumatizing event now too, adding on top of the cold showers. I've got my elbow submerged in like this ice bath feeling the tingling like up into my fingers from the nerves. I'm like, God, I don't know how I don't know if I can get on board with this.
I don't like cold in general. I mean, if you give me the option between a Nebraska summer or a Nebraska winter,
you're going summer
every single day.
Really?
Of the week.
With the humidity and everything too. You don't care, huh?
Absolutely. No, I hate cold. It hurts me. It hurts my body.
It just freezes my soul.
It makes my back sore. It makes me hurt. I wasn't supposed to be born and raised here.
You know what? Not a lot of people live here for that reason.
I hate cold. I would so much rather be hot and sweaty.
I don't think anyone lives here for the winters. I think there's other benefits to living in the Midwest.
And just a few weeks ago, I was with some friends and we were having some beverages. And our beverages were in a cooler. Mm-hmm. Like it had been, some time had passed.
So it melted a little good ice.
It was like an ice bath. And to get my particular drink of choice, I had to reach down into the bottom of the cooler. And I mean, I'm embarrassed to say.
Was it Twisted Tea?
It was Twisted Tea Light.
Oh, the light. We
found some lights.
We found some lights.
I had to go run my hand under warm water.
Really?
For like that few seconds. I am intensely uncomfortable.
So how long did you have to search for this Twisted Tea? Like how big was this cooler?
I mean
this sounds like this search was intense for that Twisted Tea light. It's like, I mean,
it was like the normal amount of time you would stick your hand in a cooler to get a drink out. It was nothing like extreme, but it hurt so bad. So to imagine like submerging my entire body in that for 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just not seeing a world where I'm going to do that. I think there's something, like I said, I think there's something to it. I'm interested in knowing more about that.
But you're not willing to try it?
I don't know that I'm willing to try it. We have covered the fact that like I don't like being uncomfortable. Cold is like my top tier
absolutely
discomfort situation.
Now that we're talking about this, I'm actually thinking about another time that I have had like ice baths recommended. That was when I was training for my full marathon.
Oh. Hold on.
I'm like, I need to say it.
Wait. You ran a marathon?
I couldn't even get that out before I'm like, I know what's coming next. But
you've never mentioned this.
Because I'm one and done. I'm not built to do that. And I don't know. See, that's what happens when you get out into the real world and you're like, what do people do for exercise and activity? Oh, I just think I'm supposed to run. How do you run? I don't know. I guess I'll sign up to run a full marathon.
Yeah,
any logical person would just like go in that progression, right?
So, you could do
it's a very easy slope.
You could do a puzzle.
What?
You could learn to bake.
There's lots of hobbies that could have been chosen. This is my particular one that I thought it was a good idea.
You ran a marathon.
Really not a great idea.
Wow.
The worst part of a full marathon is the training to actually run it. Because your training runs or any race that's, of a longer distance, you're having to build yourself up to do that. And so there actually was a lot of people that even back then recommended ice baths, but that was just like your lower half. And so I do remember at one point in time, I did like a cold bath and found, my little thing of ice box that was in my freezer, just from like the automatic maker. Yeah. And I was like, I'll just pour this in. And that was miserable enough. And that wasn't really even that much ice. I did do that with some Epsom salt, I think.
Wow.
Because even back then they were talking about how it helped with recovery but I'm already cold-hearted enough in a lot of different ways. Yeah. I don't need to submerge my entire body up into my neck with like ice cold water.
Yeah. I think it's a hard pass for me. I think I live in this world where I constantly think that like I might do it someday. Like I'm not letting myself be like, I'm never going to do it. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do it next week. I'm probably not going to do it in the next 5 years. But I'm kind of starting to think about maybe doing it.
Maybe at least
in like 10
open
years?
To the possibility that if it really was necessary,
I need some more. I need some more like
if it was a life or death situation, would you do it?
Probably.
A lot. You'll probably do anything in a life or death situation. I would think.
Some things I wouldn't. Wouldn't eat oatmeal.
I wouldn't eat. I draw the line at the oatmeal. The mushiness, the texture. Nope. I'm done.
I don't know. This is a hard one for me.
This is a really hard one for me.
I do think there are probably some benefits to it that would be good.
I think I would be more open and willing to try the cryo chamber.
Yeah,
because it's only 3 minutes long versus the 10 or 15 minutes just seems to me like it would feel like a lifetime. But the people that you will see that have become huge advocates for it based on their personal experiences, they will get up every morning and that's how they start their day.
Yeah. A lot of this,
you get into it,
a whole trend.
It is a whole trend.
I'm seeing it everywhere.
But it's a trend that's got some background behind it. It seems like there's at least some research that's supporting it. It's not just something that totally is crazy that went viral online. But I mean, I don't know. And it's like, is everyone just going to end up with these ice bath tubs at their house? Or do you chlorinate it? Like, I'm interested in how you actually maintain an ice bath.
I think here you could drain it pretty well in the winter. I think getting into the summer, it would get more interesting. But so this says it only needs to be 50 to 59 degrees height.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, that'd be cold.
You're 98 degrees.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking it was going to be colder.
What's a typical swimming pool? 80 degrees or warmer? I don't know. What's the typical temperature of a pool, a heated pool? You think? I mean, a hot tub, I think, is over body temperature, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel like it's hot. Oh, 50 degree cold plunge. Turn your heater all the way down. I can't find it. I don't really know exactly. Oh, 84 to 88.
See, and
is ideal pool temperature, but outdoor pool temperatures can range from 78 to 82. Yeah. So,
and I'm really sensitive to, I mean, I don't like swimming in general anyway.
Is it the water or the temperature you don't like about swimming?
Both.
What about the chlorine?
I don't like that either.
I don't like the lakes.
I grew up with a swimming pool in my backyard.
Yeah?
Hated it.
Do you know how to swim?
No.
Do you think that's maybe why you hate it? Has nothing to do with the water?
I don't like, this is a sensory thing. We're discovering a lot about me. I don't like my face to get wet.
What do you do in the shower?
I keep a towel over. I am getting better. I'm getting better.
Do you wash your face?
Yeah, I do. I'm
with the towel.
But I didn't honestly start doing that until like probably last year or two. I don't like my face to do that. I would keep a towel hung over the side of the shower and dry my face every time it would get wet.
What do you do to get your makeup off? Just like wipes?
Well, now I wash my face like a normal person.
Well, before you became a normal person.
Just makeup wipes.
No water, just the wipes.
I mean, I would give myself like a quick, but then I would dry my face off right away, immediately.
I have nothing. I mean,
and unfortunately,
I have questions, but I also am really trying hard not to like take you to some place that's going to uncover some trauma that happened at some point about the water.
I don't think anything happened. I've never liked water being
blocked
on my face.
it out.
And I've also unfortunately passed that on to my children.
Because they saw
I've always like when I would give them baths as babies, I knew I didn't like water on my face. So I would always be like very careful to like not get water on their face because that won't feel good. It doesn't feel good for me. And so my oldest, I mean, she takes showers on her own. She's fine. My youngest, I still give her baths and it's like
a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Way to go, Mom. You just passed that on.
Generational trauma,
Yes.
I don't know. I probably need therapy. It's fine.
That's why we have the podcast. We just get to talk about
therapy.
We'll just get it out there and somebody's going to relate to it and it's going to be great. But you guys can bond over it.
Here's the thing is this recently honestly, I would do whatever I could do to get out of like taking a shower. I don't like to take a shower. I don't like water.
Okay.
on me.
Yeah. You just don't like to be clean. I'm getting it. You're like, I'm blaming the water, but it's really just kind of this.
No, I like to be clean. I don't like to get clean with water.
What would you do? What's the alternative?
You just have to hate water. You just have to hate
baby wipes.
No, I mean, I would shower, but it was never a pleasant experience for me. I mean, up until like, I don't know, kind of recently, I was like, all right, time to be a grown up.
I finally hit 35.
But a couple weeks ago, I was taking a shower and I was like, I'm really enjoying this. It was a nice hot shower.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to lay down.
Oh.
In the shower. I have like a bath shower.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I would have never.
So you're making some progress.
So I did. I like laid down in the the bath and just let the shower baby steps.
There you go.
I don't know. What's this episode about?
Ice baths, which quickly turned into water, and like being comfortable or not comfortable. And here we are. It's like, great.
I have a complicated relationship with water. It's fine.
I'm learning. So is it the complicated relationship with water that makes you have the hard pass on the ice bath, or do you think it's the temperature?
I mean, two things.
It's both.
I don't like water and I don't like being cold. So this was never going to work for me.
Ever. I thought you just said you were never going to say never.
I don't know. I like to think I'm going to do it. Just like I like to think I'm going to run a marathon someday, you know?
You don't actually think that you would like to do that. Like, honestly, like it was a horrible idea. Really, if I look back on it, it was not a bright idea.
You don't think I could do that?
I think you could totally do it because you're a runner now.
Right.
I was never a runner. In fact, I am a track star, but I was a thrower.
I like how people keep calling me a runner because I think like people that I know that listen to the podcast are like, oh, so you run now? I'm like, right. You guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I jog. I'm a jogger.
I'm not a runner. I enjoy a good morning.
When I did like a nice little stroll, like a fast.
Yeah. Like a jog. Like a faster than a walk.
Yeah. Just kind of pick up my feet a little different.
I wouldn't call myself a runner.
Jogger. I like jogger. Well,
like I'm getting this label that is incorrect.
Well, you're at least running.
Inaccurate.
At your own pace. You are running, right? When I first signed up, so when I did my training, signed up to do it through Team Training. So you had to do the fundraising part of it, and portion of it went to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and then some of it went to your expenses for you to like go. So you had this fundraising goal, and they gave you a coach with the training plan and all the things. And so back then we actually had to send out like physical letters. I'm not even sure. I think I had email. I did. Their email existed, but it wasn't widely used at this point. Because I remember sending out like 50 like letters, like actual, hi, I'm typed up a letter. I printed the paper, stuffed envelopes.
Like on a typewriter?
They were fundraising. They were actually computers, I think. And we had just moved away from the printers that had like the holes of the things on the outsides that you had to like break off. And you actually had like the bubble jet printer, which was a big upgrade, right?
Yeah.
And one of the very first ones I got back was from my old high school throws coach. He helped me learn how to throw the discus. And he was like, I remember you never wanting to run. Like, he sent me money. He donated to the cause, but he was just completely flabbergasted about the fact that I was actually choosing to run, where he's like, everything I remember about you was this was like a no-go.
Yeah.
No-go.
When we were doing our 12-3-30 challenge a few months back.
Yeah.
You and I were at the gym that you own, right? Meaning you frequent, I imagine.
I mean, I go there a lot.
We were on the treadmills and somebody walked in and they were like, Sarah, what are you doing on the treadmills?
We've owned the business for 11 years.
He was like, I've never seen you on a treadmill.
Called out. Hardcore. Totally called out. And it's true. That is not my choice.
That's fine.
That's not my choice at all.
Water's not my choice.
Now I'm like bonking my head.
You don't like to run? I don't like to take showers.
There we go. So there. Well, now listen. Now it's back to showers. I thought we were talking about ice baths. We're like, now the showers are in the same category as ice baths.
I mean, that's
how we're going to roll.
It's like you're going to ask me to take an ice bath when... I struggle.
Well, I don't know that I would take an ice bath. I think it sounds horrible. I don't think I would.
I'm all about trying new things right now.
Let's start with cryo.
Where are we going to find that?
They have it here at Hello Gorgeous. That's like one of their new things. We've got access.
Okay.
And it's the chamber.
I mean, an ice bath 3 minutes. Make a much better TikTok.
Well, I know somebody's got one of those too. But that kind of goes back to my question about like, how do you maintain an ice bath?
Yeah. Like daily.
So you're like, okay, if this is like my ice bath and I'm just getting it out. Now I got Caleigh who doesn't like to shower. And we're going to be like, hey, I'm going to bring my friend over here.
Can we record this whole episode? I feel like this took a turn.
Hey, can we come borrow your ice bath for like a segment of the podcast so we can report? And like... She doesn't like to shower.
For me if it's like lukewarm. It's water?
Yeah,
no,
sure.
No, thank you.
Let me just set in this water after you. Like, That's the thing where I want to know, where do you get to share ice baths, or does it just, a lot of people will have it on like their back deck.
Yeah.
And that's what they go do. And trough, and they just have the water, and easier to maintain in the winter, I'm sure. But
where are you getting sharing from?
Well, because we don't have an ice bath. You want to create an ice bath for me? I was like, okay, well, I know at least one person that's created one here. You could just go borrow it, but then it's like, well, I don't know if that would be.
I don't understand where you're getting at. Like, just to try it?
Yeah, just to go see. You know what I mean? Like,
I think just to try it, you would just do it in your bathtub.
I don't think you can get it cold enough.
Yeah, you dump ice in there.
Well, and you can't get that low. Like, your whole body's not going to be submerged in your bathtub. Your knees will pop out if you try to lay down.
The important parts.
No. What would you consider the important parts, Caleigh? What are the important parts that you would need to have?
You did like from like the...
But isn't the part getting like over your heart? Like, I feel like it's for your whole body to be submerged to get the maximum benefits.
I think you could do a...
I don't think so, lady.
I don't think your knees matter.
Well, but they might. What if you go through this whole effort and then all of a sudden you're
looking way too deep into the mincing.
Bathtubs work, then people would be doing their bathtubs. And
I think that's how people start it. First,
you think there's a progression. Okay,
I know there's a progression.
First, we have to do the cold rinse of our hair.
You have to start with cold showers.
And then cold shower.
You have to take your normal shower. At the end of your shower, you give a blast of cold.
And then
do it for like 1 minute.
And then do you move towards full cold showers?
I think. That's really all I know.
I mean, this is what we're defining right now. This is
what I would do.
This is what okay.
Starting tomorrow, I'm going to start working towards taking ice baths. I'm going to turn the shower on cold at the end of my shower.
Okay.
For like a minute. It's going to suck. I might do that for like a week.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
You're going to take a year to work in this ice bath situation.
I feel like it has to be a slow progression. I don't feel like it's something you can just...
I don't feel like people do that, though. I think they just decide
No. Nobody decides to get into a tub of cold water and just does it for 15 minutes. You have to work your way up to it. You have to really want it.
I would really like to hear feedback from people that do the ice baths to let us know.
I want
what your journey was.
Compelling evidence to convince me
to do it.
To do it,
not just personal stories.
Well,
you need to have research.
Well, that is my evidence as personal story.
Okay.
I need to hear from people that do it and how it has improved their mood,
And you just go cold at it one day, ripping off a Band-Aid, and just went straight forward.
No, that's not a thing. Why do you keep saying that?
Could be. I mean, because honestly, that's probably what I would do.
Nobody's doing that.
I'm not working into it.
Nobody's doing that.
I think I probably would.
That you're gonna fail.
But what if I just go and I do that for 1 minute and then I get out, and then it's 2 minutes? Why do I have to do the cold showers? Those are horrible.
This is how you start. You can't get used to being in cold water without.
You really have to get used to it, or you just have to learn how to tolerate it. Let's see. Let's think about that.
I think kind of both.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't think it's something you can just dive into. No pun intended.
No, feet first, please. Feet first. Water's too shallow. Feet first only, people. Don't start diving into horse troughs. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Are we going to do it?
What are we seeing?
I don't know. All right. Well, here, let's at least do this. You hate it. You hate the idea of it for sure, but you don't know because you've never tried it.
Yeah, you don't.
Are you willing to try it?
Can we add another element to it?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Alan's coming in.
On the podcast, we do it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
There'll be a lot of cursing.
The whole episode would be just bleeped out. Live on air, we would do the first ice bath situation. I don't know how I feel about this. To be continued, I guess. Now,
I don't hate it.
You don't hate it? You don't hate that idea?
Trying it?
For the podcast?
For the podcast. It's for the podcast.
No, it's for the podcast.
For science.
For science. Okay, maybe.
I don't know.
So my parents have a hot tub. I wonder if you could, if you did it really fast, have that and then throw in a bunch of water. I wonder if you could get it cold enough. But you'd probably have to have a lot of ice.
Yeah, because how low are those?
Because then we could do it at the same time. Because it's 2-person hot tub. So we could maybe roll with that. That could be kind of interesting. That would be another. We should Google search that. We'll do some research and we'll figure it out.
Put it in the notes.
Convert a hot tub into a cold bath plunge. Short term.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Maybe not, because they're probably not built for that. You'd probably crack your plastic or something. I don't know.
We could probably find some horse troughs around here. I'm sure
there's a few.
Not in short supply.
They are not in short supply. We can just go up to the river and get the ones that you float in the cow tank down and just borrow one of those.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
The amount of ice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
We have to get
that kind of ice.
We just have to buy bags of ice, which is just going to be an investment. We just got an ice machine.
This turned into a whole thing.
It is going to be a whole thing. All right. Well, okay. Now I guess we have to do it because Alan said we need to record it and you agreed to do it for the podcast. So in the meantime, people are just going to have to send us.
Yeah. Let us know.
Social media, send us an email, nachofitnesscoach@gmail.com. Message us on social media. Find us. Share your stories about your experiences with ice baths. Yep. And we'll add it in.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I do want to hear it too. All right. Well, there we go. To be continued. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram @Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.